episode of Hobby Hangout. My name is Jake.
And my name is Dom.
Now, today is going to be an amazing hobby, like every single hobby that we've ever done and ever will do, is going to be. And, well, I wonder what it is, right?
Gee, I wonder, based on... I can't tell by what's on our, table here. I just cannot tell.
Well, let me kill your curiosity here and just say it's gardening.
Whoa, really?
I know. I thought it was going to be hunting, honestly, from all of it.
I thought this was kayaking for a second.
See, that was close too. But no, it's actually going to be gardening. Now I have to explain how we're actually going to be doing this episode, because things are going to be a little bit different.
This is going to be a very unique episode, and why is that?
Well, it's going to be a unique episode because we're going to be filming these things in stages. It's not going to be just a one film in one day and then maybe take a break tomorrow and do the actual hobby like we've done before. However, this is going to be filmed over the course of a few months to maybe even a year. Who knows, right? Because gardening as a whole is something that takes a while to get anything out of, right? Because,
yeah.
I mean, you can plant your seed today, but is it going to be a fruit overnight?
No, you're not going to get no beanstalk in, literally a matter of 24 hours.
Not likely. But no. Today, we will only be kind of doing the introductions, the histories, the equipments, the basic beginning start stuff. Then we'll switch over, off camera over there in the actual outside world, and we will be planting and starting out the seeds. So, I guess, without further ado, do you want to explain what we're going to be doing?
Well, for starters, we're going to be starting up our seeds / fruit that we got here.
Now, I have asked Dom and myself to prepare 3 categories of seeds, or, well, seeds.
Well, at least
seed starting or whatever.
Sure,
right?
we'll say that.
Plant starts, sure, right? Now, one of the categories is seeds from packets. The other category, flower seeds from packets, and then the other one is, well, from the fruit itself. That's why you see garlic, and that's why you see some tiny peps over there. But you're also able to see, some of the packets that we have, various different ones, right? Your flower is
the columbine flower.
right on, and mine is the gazanias. Your seed packets are...
I got cilantro. I got different types of peppers, including the Carolina Reaper. Shout out to Smokin' Ed. And I do have a steak hybrid tomato.
Right on, and I forgot exactly what mine were. So I got some tomatoes as well. I have some bell peppers, various different types.
I see one different variety of hot pepper. It's the Hungarian yellow wax.
Yeah, that's the first episode that I think we actually stood up from our shed stuff.
You stood up. But yeah.
That's right, only I did.
But,
oh no.
But regardless, we got our seeds.
You got our seeds picked out.
Oh, yes. Yeah, cilantro, I believe. And I also have bell peppers too.
Yeah, some bells too.
Yours is more shaped like a chili pepper, but they're still bells.
Oh, the packets, man. I got bell packets too.
Yes. Now,
right on.
And yep, we got, for the fresh stuff we have, garlic and your little bell peppers.
That was already said.
Yes, but anyways, now, is there a reason why we picked this specific, seeds from flower packet or flowers from seed packets?
You dirty bitch, you did it to me. But yes, there's definitely a reason why I picked the ones that I was going to. A, because, well, I was at a store and it just spoke to me. I like the pretty colors that I saw on the gazanias, and, well, I've never frankly heard of gazanias until I picked those seed packets, so you know what?
We'll deal with it.
Let's do it! Let's try it! Let's see what happens, you know?
For sure.
And then, of course, the other ones were because I had actual experience with the seed packets before, so I should, if I remember correctly from my childhood, know how to deal with those seeds. How about you? Why did you pick what you did?
Well, for starters, again, well,
We're gonna make that joke forever.
well, some of the stuff I already like personally. I like tomatoes. I also like, I do like very spicy things, which that can't be a surprise at this point. But also, I would also, maybe it gives me an inspiration to maybe cook with some of the vegetables I have. And, I don't know, columbine flower, I got that because it's probably one of the easiest things to grow.
I mean, it is one of the New England, like, zones, wild type of flowers. So, I mean,
Right.
it makes sense, right? Get what flourishes in your zone. So,
Correct.
how about we get into what is gardening?
What exactly is gardening?
What is gardening? For those of us who might not know every single detail,
Well,
what is it?
well, you have seeds, you got your dirt, and, well, just like we need water, plants need water. And then, over time, once it has enough water and enough nutrition from the soil, it starts to germinate. And then, which forms little leaves, and then eventually the fruit grows out of that. And then what do you do with that? You can either, if it's a flower, you just, hey, maybe take a picture of the flower, show it to your friends, post it online. Or, if it's food, you can either eat it raw or cook with it.
That one was actually a little too overripe.
That's, you also got to make sure whatever it is, it's ripe.
Or not overripe.
Correct. It has that sweet spot right there.
Harvest that middle zone.
Anything else you need to mention before we get to this?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Why don't you think we should actually demonstrate this?
Demonstrate that. No, we're not there yet.
Hey, I'm just so excited about this.
You're just so guarded and denned.
I'm just so excited to grow my stuff.
But no, we also have to kind of get into a little bit of the history and a little bit of the equipment stuff. Now, depending on what type of garden you want, the equipment tends to vary. Now, for a few beginners, you might definitely want to get your hands on some sort of water mechanism, whether it's a watering can or just simply from the hose. You might want to get a little bit of a shovel, a little trowel maybe, and honestly, maybe you might even want to organize your stuff and get some nice pots with cells to kind of organize things out in the grid, and maybe you want to make some markers with like popsicle sticks, right little things on it, like
Just like since you
this
labeled
is
it.
a nice little label thing. Now, everyone's garden is kind of different, so you honestly you honestly don't necessarily need the high-end tools. However, if you did want to get into the professional level, whether it's, whether you're super into it or you are doing it for manufacturing
Or
purposes.
for commercial gardening.
Exactly.
There are a lot of things. I mean, tractors. People use that.
Trackers can be used.
For like a hoe, there's a lopper, soil testing.
What was that first one?
Called a hoe. It's not that kind of hoe. Or maybe a backhoe too. There's definitely like shovels, just like like a home garden would be like. Then there's also those specific machines that, like if you're making something, it grabs the fruit itself.
Oh yeah.
I've seen those like in the show How It's Made. That's a great show. But you see how, like, sometimes potatoes are ripped from the ground, like, by a machine.
You just say the machine, you don't need to say how it's made.
But I'm just saying, because that just shows you how a lot of the commercial gardening works.
And there's definitely some ingenuity there. But we're only going to be doing the beginner path, really. So we have some seed storage stuff. Gloves, great option to have even if you are doing it commercially. Nice little organization method, and a little bit of water. Oh, and soil.
Can't forget the soil.
The soil, the dirt, depending on where you are. Your backyard dirt might be fertile enough to do something, and if it's not, you get some soil somewhere else. For sure. There are definitely ways you can make your backyard a lot more fertile for some growth to actually happen, but a lot of times people don't want to actually go through all of that effort unless if they're knowledgeable of they're going to be there for a while, because gardens are a big footprint unless if you're doing things in a pot, which we will eventually be doing. Since they are a big footprint, you kind of don't necessarily want to build one unless you know you're going to be in a zone for that amount of time. Now that the equipment is kind of out of the way, how about let's talk about a little bit of the methods of gardening. Now, do you have any basic ones off the top of your head?
Well, the first one off the top of my head is in-ground gardening.
What was that?
Well, it's self-explanatory. Well, you plant the seeds in the ground, and then, do what you usually do. You just water the plant, make sure, also check up on it, make sure it's not dying. Think of it taking care of a kid. One of the easiest ones is container gardening.
Container gardening, what is that?
Well, we got our containers, put the little soil in there. That's how usually seed starters will usually start. You put the dirt in there, or if you buy soil, you just put the soil in there, and then you put the seed in there, you just water your plant. Of course, make sure your container has a way for water to escape from too.
Right, because you're not trying to create a river, you're not trying to create a swamp, you're trying to create, a little trickle through.
For sure. Yeah.
You got one more?
Can see sometimes is vertical gardening.
What's that?
Well, instead of being down, the garden is let's just say if it's on a wall, it's going, it's vertical, it's going up. Maybe not super high, but just it's exactly what it sounds like. It's vertical.
Now, why would someone do that?
Sometimes maybe they may not want to either risk if depending on where it is, they want a little more control of their stuff.
There's control, but there's also the amount of space that actual in-ground pots can take up. If it's vertical, you're only kind of in one place instead of walking throughout a yard, right? Because everything will be up on top of each other. Now the next one that I would like to kind of actually talk about that a lot of advanced users would get into is lasagna gardening. Now, like a real Italian dish, lasagna, it's pretty much stacking different types of shenanigans on top of each other. It's how you can kind of balance pH and soil levels. It's how you can give nutrients and great stuff and all that stuff. So essentially what that means is you kind of have a different type of crate or some sort of thing that contains all of it. You would layer some stuff like natural maybe lawn clippings that are high in nitrogen, then you would do some carbon based things, so maybe wood chips or paper scraps or something. You would kind of stack and stack and stack and stack, and then on top of it is where you would have your regular soil and your regular planting, right? So it's kind of creating a composting situation, but underneath the whole layer, so it actually gets the benefits without you kind of having to make your own compost and kind of do it that way. It's kind of in the structure itself. If I got all of that from just one Google image.
I'd have to look at that.
It's, from how I understand it, it does seem like an interesting thing, and I would like to try doing that if I had the resources, which the two of us are only going to be doing on. Well, not like that.
Ooh. Woo-hoo. Hey, you can grow that now.
La, 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 la.
Yeah,
But it's Theo double G.
perfect.
But no, how about we talk about some like tips and tricks for new gardeners?
Now, this is one that I should also really go by too, and is to really check up on your plant.
Check up on your plant. That's a good tip.
I mean, I'm guilty myself of not always checking up on some stuff.
It was so funny that we both kind of had a start or something at the same time. Like, this was only last year, like a year ago, or a year before that or something, but we both started a plant relatively the same amount of time. Or it was started at the same time, whatever. And every day I was watering my stuff, and I was like, oh, these are actually orange tomatoes instead of red ones, because, you know, some people get heartburn from the red ones, right? So the orange ones kind of supposedly help that out. But I was doing the watering, and after like a few weeks or months, I ended up with 3 nice little tiny like orange tomatoes. Whereas
I've got no peppers.
you got no peppers because I asked you, I remember the stream that we were in. I asked you in chat one day, oh, did you water? How are your peppers doing? Because everyone was actually interested in it. And you're like, what peppers? Oh!
And I was just like, well, I have not been really taking care of them, but
Which,
that is the biggest rule of gardening, is you really got to take care of your plant.
you gotta take care of your stuff. But a really crucial thing that everyone should listen to is don't go too big with them. Like, garden what you know you can handle. Don't knock down your whole entire backyard if all you have the energy to do is take care of a small pot. Like, do what you can. Now, of course, the two of us are probably pushing it by having, you know, more than one thing we're planting.
Sure, but
That's kind of for the Hobby Hangout point, because we're trying to do a little bit of everything here, right?
yeah.
So don't do this at home. No, you can do it at home if you're able
Fine.
to. If you're able to actually look and take care of stuff. We should also say that if you have anybody who knows about gardening in your life, even a little bit, then you could probably. That scared me. It scared me. Oh.
Hey, birds like worms and worms like apples.
If you have anybody in your life that is a gardener, either by hobby or by trade, you can hit them up for their knowledge. And sometimes you can visit online forums to look at other people's suggestions and stuff like that. And if you have nobody else, heck, even like a garden store, they usually have people who hopefully know what they're talking about. And but no, really just make sure you're not overdoing it. Make sure you have
Also, make sure you're not
knowledge.
underdoing it either.
That's true too. But yeah, you want to make sure that it's getting the proper nutrients and the proper sun and the proper shade if need be, and
Yeah, definitely make sure, you know, there's enough sunlight.
make sure you have the time to do it too. Don't go on a 5-week vacation after you tried starting it and like expect that you're gonna have a harvest after that vacation. You might, If all goes well, maybe you do.
Yeah.
But if you are going on vacation, get someone else to like take care of them for you when you're gone. People do legitimately plant sand for people, like for actual money. That is something people do. It's like, yeah, babysitting, you have dog sitting, pet sitting,
Garden sitting.
you actually do have plant sitting. That is something.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's the basic tips that we have.
Yeah, some good old tips, and not a lot of tricks, honestly, but good old tips, right? Now, that'd probably be a good time to discuss some of the famous examples throughout the world or history. Right?
Yeah, suppose we did.
Some of the gardening stuff.
Sure.
Well, one of the most famous gardens that was definitely in history was the Gardens of Versailles. Now, more is known about the fountains and hedges that were actually present during this garden's reign. I think it's even still around today, honestly, but it still took a lot of meticulous planning and planting for that to actually function as a beautiful landscape. You know, it wasn't just randomly scattered together. Do you have any other historical examples?
Yeah, one of them being the Hang Garden of Babylon, which has a lot of greens, and it blends agriculture and nature together, which makes it a very unique garden.
Must be. I'd assume some of the historical ones are kind of inspiration for some of the modern ones that might exist
Definitely.
today.
They kind of lay the foundation of the use of today's gardens. Now, do you have a modern garden?
Why, yes, I do. It's the Singapore Botanic Gardens, which actually blends scientific conservation with the tropical, lush nature of Singapore. It's pretty amazing, and it actually shows that you can plan a garden for science and research purposes. And how about you?
So the other modern garden is the High Line, which is located in New York. Just like how the one in Hang Garden Babylon combines agriculture and nature, this one combines like urban design and plant life together to create a very unique experience.
It's straight up in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
Not like in a suburb in the state of New York. It's straight up in the city.
That's pretty much what it is.
Interesting.
Now, of course, we're not going to go into every single detail.
We're not able to go into every single location that a famous garden exists because we would be here for literal 10 days.
We would literally, like, right now, if we, by the time we would get done with it, it would be dark out.
It probably would be.
But now, is there anything else that you'd like to mention?
Well, usually we like to kind of talk about key influential people. Of course, there have been a lot of people that have done revolutionary things in the world of gardening, but there are so many people that we're just not able to tangibly mention every single one of them. With that being said, though, how about we become two of the people in history who have done gardening?
That would actually be a great idea.
Hopefully successfully.
Hopefully. Let's give it some
This
hope.
is totally not foreshadowing 6 months from now when we don't have anything, right?
But, hey, if we do have anything, maybe I might have a little bit of bonus content.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see.
We will have to see.
For sure.
Now, do you think you want to get cracking?
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, I guess there's no better time than now to do this.
Okay.
Pretty great day to do it, and
Alright.
we will take you over to our planting zone.
Alright, which is literally right over here.
We are over here, suffering, looking at the sun, so I can't even see if we're rolling.
But we are here, though, to do a little demonstration for you guys.
Demonstrating. We're starting this. How?
Hey, that is a term for gardening.
It is a term for gardening. It works. Now, what do you want to start with?
I'm gonna start with seeds.
I think we should do some seed packet stuff.
Yep.
So, I'm pulling out my pellets, which are old. The reason why I'm not doing the exact same style as him is because these pellets are older. These seed starting pellets were from like the last time we actually did a garden here. And it doesn't look like we have any remnants of that old garden anymore, really. So that's probably like 10 years ago. These are 10 years old pellets, which not the greatest to use. This was here so then we could scoop out, and we just haven't done it. That's why today's sponsor is bell peppers.
Here you go. In plasticware.
In plasticware. This is an annual.
How you do a basic start with like vegetables
And flour.
And let's not forget the flour right here.
So how did you do the garlic?
Oh, I still got to do that.
Which, take that guy too. We already had a... Yes! Yeah! Holy... Yeah! How's that for spice master?
Now I took it. Now it's all. I'm gonna eat it now.
Oh wait, 3, 2, 1 in it. I guess bottoms up. You did it too. It's just an allium.
Oh. That's what the. Yep, that's the family.
That's all it is.
You know what?
It's like a fucking onion. Get out of here, bugs. Oh! Oh. Well, it's gone. You're probably going to see from this episode, if we don't scrap any of this, maybe we redo everything and you won't see this, whatever. But the next part that you'll actually end up seeing would be 1 or 2 of us checking in on the progress of 1 or 2 of our things, right?
For sure.
I don't know, maybe he's coming over here, maybe I'm going over there, or maybe both of us go to the same pre-established place. Whatever, you don't need to know the ins and outs of the BTS. What I mean by that is behind the scenes, not the Bangtan show.
Nah.
But no, the next scene that you'll see from us is going to be when, if something big actually does happen. And, well, see you then.
See ya in like a few seconds, actually.
For us, it's going to be another few weeks.
Yeah!
And after a good 9 months, gardening's done? Or just about?
I would say it's just about.
Yeah, because I'm going to kind of cue you in on a little something. The last update has yet to be done. I'm going to probably take some of the crops that, I was able to grow and maybe cook something or just eat them without cooking them, right?
You can do that too.
But no, this was a tremendous experience. It was our first hobby that actually took a while to get through.
It took a couple months to do.
To actually do, not a whole 2 years of files sitting on a computer, right?
Yeah. But, so this is where we're at.
It's been so long since we've even started the intro for this one that I forgot how to do a conclusion, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll say this like this. How did you find the experience?
It's like taking care of a kid or a pet.
Fair enough.
I
and,
really did try at
Uh-huh.
times. I guess one of the days when it really rained, I forgot to bring him in the house.
And how often were you looking up
was
things online
Well,
of how to properly care for these
I've been
children?
watching the garlic video.
The garlic video. You know how many things you planted?
One thing of garlic,
Other things you planted that aren't
Peppers.
garlic?
other vegetables.
So did you watch or read anything about those other vegetables?
I
Or
did watch
flowers?
something about the peppers, like a little bit.
Any flowers? No
No, I did not.
tutorials on that?
No.
Because a lot of times it's not just throw things in a pot and seed.
I did, for a while, that container you gave me, I used as a little bit of a greenhouse, so I was able to get some things out of it.
I did see signs of life at the start with yours. I did.
I did, yeah, there was also some mold growing around them, because it was
I
too
did.
moist.
Hey, but that was a sign of life. Mold is alive, I think.
Yes.
It is a community of things, right? But elephant in the room.
These are all your stuff.
I have the failure crabgrass that was supposed to be strawberries. I planted strawberries like from the fruit itself, but there was some crabgrass seeds that were probably just in the soil already, and that sprouted into that monstrosity that you see right here. I will say though, so about a month ago, these did kind of get nice little fall plumage going on, and it's the closest thing of flowering that you could get out of a grass, and it did look pretty impressive, but these are definitely not strawberries.
They're not strawberries at the very least. I mean, I guess that's a little bit of the color of them a little bit.
It was red with green top for a while. It was,
Now it's red
but
with brown or tan.
that's because it's probably withering away a little bit. But on my side, however, is one of my successes, I would like to say, where I could see, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, technically 5, 6, and 7 peppers on this little thing. And the impressive part about that is these ones were not from a seed packet. These ones were from an assortment of mixed peppers from a store. Which, from the fruit ones. These are both the ones that I tried doing from the fruit. Funny enough. Now, the flowers were also great. I liked those. And I liked the signs of the bell peppers, but the bell peppers didn't really turn out to be anything. And the tomatoes aren't as big as they should be, but it's fine. It's all fine, you know?
You know what? At least you got something out of it.
At least I got something out of it.
But yeah, I guess next time if there's such a big rainstorm, I'm just gonna always bring them inside.
Next time we start them inside in March in a warm area that gets sunlight but doesn't get too humid, You know, it's a good. You gotta have a good environment to start them off, and you start them off in the early, like March, April's. So then, by time it gets springtime, then you can start consider putting them in pots. We started a little too late, but even so, despite that, some of my stuff is doing pretty well, all considered. But I had a good experience with this. Of course, of the two of us, I was the one who was more acquainted with gardening to begin with.
I mean, I've made attempts at the past, but even at this time, I tried more, but there was also things on my end I could have improved on. But it's all part of the experience. I get better each time.
I mean, that's going to be a part of this Hobby Hangout series. It's going to show us failing miserably if we decide to keep the footage in.
Excuse me.
Like failing to stay awake, right?
I was hoping to get garlic, but in the middle, like, I guess this does not count, but I put a green onion in the plant, and I actually got those. If you wanted to count the green onions, sure, but that wasn't originally part of what we were trying to do.
For all intents and purposes, it counts as gardening. It does. Gardening is one of those expansive hobbies that encompass a whole variety of things. Now, if we're going to get into these specific subsets of gardening, that could literally be your decision. We might go into aquaponics too. You know, we might do underwater gardening, which is different than just pot or in ground or what have you. No, this was a pleasant experience, and I think it was a valuable experience to show that you could have a success like this, a terrible, a success like this, because it sucked, but it was successful at growing something.
Sure.
And you could have failure of like what all of the ones you planted on camera were. The green onions I'm definitely counting, because if I didn't, you would be 0% right now. But no, would you do this? No cameras. Would you do this again?
I'm gonna try again. Yeah,
You
with
would
those
try
peppers.
again, but probably not like juggling 5 different plant types. Maybe you'll focus on 1 or 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was kind of daunting to give you the task of, well, you gotta do 3 different types, or 4, 5, 6, 7. You can maybe try just focusing your efforts on this one batch.
No, I would definitely, because I have extra seeds from some specific, like, vegetables. I can try those again.
You know, that's probably where a problem of mine came with.
Yeah.
I used every single seed. Every single seed that I
also didn't want to overdo it too, but I also didn't want just one seed either.
Like that's probably why you see that this is a successful one, because it wasn't like it was too many seeds, because it only came from like only 2 different peppers.
2 or 3, I only put like 2 or 3 in each little seed starter.
I'm talking about mine here, where this was a success, I would think, more so than the other ones, because I probably didn't, overdo the seeds with this, because it only came from 2 peppers to begin with. And I put literally every single bell pepper seed in that. I put every single tomato seed in that pot. And I put every single flower seed in that pot.
So you know what? What I'm going to probably do next year is then rip out some of the weeds that did grow in that pot.
Oh yeah, you got weeds. Why would you even leave them? You gotta bring. You gotta get like a big bucket and like physically like work out all of that soil. It's not just let's put it in this existing habitat already. This existing ecosystem that's already thriving the way it is. Let's put this one thing in there. So it's either you could have something invasive like this pop up, or your new thing will just die out.
Yeah, I'll just rip it out and put the new stuff in.
You could totally rip it out and get new soil, but you don't have to. And what I'm trying to say is you have to work with the soil before you use it. You can't just say, oh, I have a pot with some soil in it. I'll put my plants in there.
I mean, you can. The bag I got says you can mix old and new soil.
Right. But what they don't tell you a lot of times is what percentage.
No, it doesn't tell you that.
Or it does, but you didn't read it.
Mm-hmm.
That's also possible.
Well, so maybe, and also along the way I got some plant food. I was hoping that would improve on the growing, but
to use plant food, you have to first have plants.
yes, I did have plants in there.
Why higher plants for higher?
Okay, but no, in the updates I did mention, I think I got plant food.
Yeah, you did, and you said you used it a few times. I didn't.
Like every 2 weeks I would put a new one in there.
I didn't use plant food.
Well, probably because there's like stuff in the soil. I mean, there was stuff in mine too, but I figured I'd help it.
We could see right here, potting potting mix grows plants twice as big. Las plantas crecen al doble de tamaño.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Feeds after 6 months. Fertiliza hasta por 6 meses.
More blooms for more color.
Oh, let me get the other one. Más flores para mejor Colorado.
There you go.
See.
Okay. Yeah, so anyways, this was a bit of an experience.
It was an experience, and just like this hobby taking so long to complete, this conclusion's taking so long to get through.
So let's just end this now before the plant gets too big.
Otherwise, this new berry is going to wither away because of the weed.
Anyway.
This new berry is going to get picked on the vine.
Right, but anyways, this has been another episode.
It's been another episode of Hobby Hangout. Let's see our pretty faces for a second.
Okay. Here we go.
So, this isn't copywritten, it's just green.
And that's what you need for plants.
Vodka.
Right. Yeah, that's totally good right now.
Oh, is that why yours died? Because you used vodka. Yeah.
But, yeah, anyways, I'm your host, Dom.
For Jake, I forgot how to conclude.
Well, we'll see you in the next episode of Hobby Hangout.
Have a grape one. See you tomato.
Okay, you're picking out the worst jokes, but okay. But you gotta ripe it up a little bit.
And there you have it. Two gents try their hands at gardening. While Jake showed he had a green thumb on his hand, Dom earned a big thumbs down on his. Be sure to tune in next time on Hobby Hangout. Farewell.